Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bethany and this is my husband Josh, and today we're giving you our top 15 NICU tips and tricks. So we have MicroPreemie twin boys, Jack and Rory. They were born at 25 weeks and we spent 111 days in the NICU with Rory, and then Jack ended up staying for an additional stay. So we spent 293 total days in the NICU from start to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
So we did our time and we have some tips for you. So tip number 1, allow yourself time to grieve. So while you've just lost something major, and that's your pregnancy, you were pregnant, I'm sure you had all of these thoughts and feelings and pictures in your head about what your pregnancy was going to look like, and now that is all shattered. So
and your delivery.
Yeah, so
your pregnancy, your delivery, the whole
thing. It's not what you expected, and it's okay to be sad about that and to grieve it, because it's crushing. Like, we envisioned so many things. Like, I wanted late night ice cream and pizza in bed and Josh to wait on me for a lot longer. And then
the rush to the hospital.
Yeah, packing a hospital bag and rushing when your water breaks and screaming at your husband while he drives you there. Like,
holding your baby after it's born.
There's a lot of things that you just had to give up, and it's okay to feel sad about it and to grieve. Get it out, have your feelings, talk to who you need to talk to about it, so that you can move forward. Because until you let that off your chest and let it go and feel it and harness it, you're not going to be able to move on. So have that time. Let yourself grieve it. Let yourself be sad about it. It's okay.
Yeah.
Embrace it. Grieve what you've lost and be ready to enter the fight of your life. Tip number 2, be kind to the nurses. All of them.
They will be your best friends.
They will be your best friends, your advocates, your allies. They are going to be your person while you are in the hospital. So be nice to them, even the ones you don't like so much.
There's going to be a few.
There's going to be a few, but the good ones are going to outweigh the bad ones. Be kind, be appreciative, and listen to them. They know what they're doing, and they are absolutely there for you. They're not just saying it. It's not just a script. If you have questions, wants, needs, feelings, they are going to become those people that answer every question, that if they don't have the answer, they're going to find it. They're your therapists. They're going to be your everything.
Yeah. They're in the trenches. You can trust them. They're spectacular.
And they're smart. And they're kind. So be kind back. Tip number 3, put your Googling fingers away. The best advice we were given when we were in the hospital is don't Google it.
Yeah.
Just don't Google. Find yourself a group on Facebook for NICU moms. Ask questions there. Go to the March of Dimes website. That is a true source of good that can give you information that you need and doesn't send you down some Google rabbit hole of darkness and despair. So stay away from Google. Your baby is not the same baby as the babies on Google. Your baby is yours. So stop Googling it. Trust your doctors and your nurses. If you have questions, you're not at the hospital, pick up the phone, call them. They're always there. Someone is always there to take your call, take your question, and find you an answer. Ask them, go to the March of Dimes. Don't Google it.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what's on Google. It's dark. It's scary. Tip number 4, take advantage of the experience. While it sucks and it's not fun what you're having to go through, I saw a Will Smith commercial recently where he was like, I got a 1,000-page manual for my TV and they sent me home with a baby with nothing.
Yeah.
But when you have a NICU baby, you kind of get that 1,000-page manual. Yeah. You are going to get to know your baby.
It's baby school.
So well. It's absolutely baby school. And it's not just general baby school, it's your baby school. You're going to know them. You're going to know what they look like when they're struggling. You're going to know what they look like when they're happy. You're going to know what they look like when they're pooping. You're going to know your baby inside and out, and you're going to have all of these experts and this team of people to teach you about it.
He looks like, and then someone will be like, no, that's right. Like, a lot of parenthood is like guessing, and like maybe you got like, you can ask your wife, or you can like, hey mom, when like I was a kid, did I ever, vomit purple? Like you can ask these people, but when you're at the NICU, they can be like, oh well, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can ask and get an educated answer.
Am I correct in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So take advantage of that. Also take advantage of all the classes they offer.
CPR,
lactation consultants, occupational therapy, massage therapy for the babies. Take advantage of everything that is offered to you, because in the long run, it's going to be so worth it. Like, you're just going to learn so much and be so educated by the time this is over, that is your bright, shiny light. Like, that's the silver lining, is having that education.
And take advantage of the like niceties, the like March of Dimes is our big one. The hospital did a bunch as well, but take advantage of just those arts and crafts and those, like the book lady that comes by and brings books. Like, embrace the moments of levity in the NICU, because they're, at least we've been to 2, and they were both very good about making your stay as happy as it can.
As possible. Absolutely.
And you gotta jump into take the photo shoots, even if you're not there, like let homeboy have like a little
mini photo
shot. Yeah, I mean, it's just,
it's so
you're gonna
worth
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's your 1,000-page manual.
Yeah,
for sure. All right, tip number 5: set boundaries. Set boundaries with your families, with your friends, with your workplace, with everyone in your life. And if you don't do it early and soon, you're going to regret it.
Yeah.
So one thing that we found in our first NICU, where the babies were born, you had to have your phone on airplane mode, and it went in a plastic bag so that you could still take photos, but you weren't getting like text messages, emails, phone calls, blah, 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 blah. And I remember every night for those first couple of days, we would walk out and our phones would just explode. Yeah. What's going on? Who's this? Where's that? And then, of course, we weren't responding because our phones were on airplane mode, and we were in the NICU for hours. And so it was just like repeat questions. What's going on? Who's happening? What's happening?
17 different groups. Yeah.
It was, and like already you're feeling so overwhelmed, and you leave the NICU and you think you can like take this breath in and like take a moment, collect yourself, but no, it's rapid fire questions about what's happening. So what we did very early on, after we went through like 2 days of that, we were like, I can't do this. More. This is not a thing we signed up for. So we created a group text with everyone in our families, everyone who was on the need to know list. And we sent a very long text message just saying, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for being so concerned. We understand your concern. You're going through this just like we are, because they are. Don't forget that. These babies are their family or their friends who are like family too. So they're also going through this, but they're not as close to it as you are. And so the anxiety they're feeling is lack of knowing. And so we told our family how much we loved them, how much we felt for them, how much we understood.
Now follow my rules.
But there's going to be some ground rules. 1, we're only going to send updates to this group, so that if you have a question, ask it in the group and we will answer, because if you have the question, somebody else probably has the question. We will give updates every single day between this time and this time, and we will give miscellaneous updates as they come, but don't expect them. You're getting a 1 update a day. You might get some extra happiness. I don't know. And then we also created a photo stream. So for those family members who have Apple or iPhone, or you could do this on, there's plenty of apps out there nowadays that anyone, you could do this with any phone, but we created a photo stream or a photo album that they all had access to, and we would add pictures every single day, send our updates, and they would ask questions through there. And that's what we did. That was our boundary. Like, stop calling me, stop sending me hundreds of the same text messages from 17 of you. Like, this is where you're going to get your communication about Jack and Rory, and this is where you're going to get your communication from us. And I hope it's okay with you, because it's all we can handle right now, because this is a lot for us and this is heavy for us. So this is what we can commit to. Take it or leave it. And they were all very receptive to it. No one got their feelings hurt. Everyone was fine, and it worked out perfectly. And they kept us honest. If we didn't have that updated by a certain time, it's like, guys, update. Which is totally understandable and fair, and they deserve. We felt like they deserved that.
We said here's the guidelines. This is what we're gonna do, and then everybody kept everybody honest.
Yep.
We're all informed. We're all happy.
And there are so many mediums to do this. You can start a special private Facebook group, and then you can share photos and videos and your updates there. You can.
Yeah, we had a friend who did the Facebook one, because luckily everybody we knew had Apple.
Yeah, there's so many options out there in the world that you can make a community and have communication through it, and everyone has visibility, and you don't have to send the same sentence to 7 different people
Yeah.
Set your boundaries and set them early. All right, tip number 6, accept help. You don't have to be superhuman. You don't have to keep doing it all. Your baby is in the hospital. It's okay if your mom wants to do your laundry. Absolutely.
It's actually quite nice.
Here, take it. Wash it. Yeah. If you have pets at home, right? Have someone come and take care of your pets. Walk your dog. Let them go potty. Like, let people help you. Let them bring you food. Let them do your dishes, clean your house, whatever it is. Those extra things that are just going to pile onto your plate. Delegate whatever you can and accept that help freely, and don't feel guilty about it, because the thing you need to focus on is your baby, and the laundry, the meal planning, and the dog going potty. Those can be somebody else's problem for now. So accept all the help you can get. And
I think they appreciate it, because especially if you're not allowed in the NICU, like, I can't be a part of this. Let me be a part of you.
It makes them feel included. It makes them feel like they're doing something good, and it helps them stay busy. And because again, this is a whole process for them too, that they're having to deal with in such a different way. And so doing the laundry or bringing you a meal makes them feel like they've done something. And so you're not just getting help, like, you're doing good too. You're letting them be a part of this experience with you, even if it means folding your underwear.
Again, thanks, Diana.
Thanks, Mom. All right, tip number 7, develop a routine. Because there's going to be so little that you are going to have control over. The one thing you can control is your day and the plan of it. You can make a plan. Now, you know better than anyone now that plans can be shattered and crushed by tiny humans, and that they enjoy it. So make a plan. Do your best to stick to your routine, but no, be okay with it if it falls apart, because you should know better than anyone.
Spontaneity.
Schedule it. So what we did is we were still working right after the babies were born. So we would get up, go to work, leave work, go straight to the NICU. We would visit the babies. We would try to be there by 5 o'clock so we could be there for their care times. And try to make your schedule around those care times. Those times are going to be precious, especially in the early days.
So where time you can touch them.
You get to touch them. You get to change their diaper. You get to do like mom and dad things. So we were there by 5 o'clock. We did their cares. Then we would have dinner at the hospital. And then we would stay until 9 p.m. to do their 9 p.m. cares, tuck them in, put them to bed, let them fall asleep. And then we would come home, shower, wash, rinse, repeat. And so we developed this routine, and it really kept me sane, because you could almost enter autopilot, because every day was the same as like Groundhog's Day, right? You're just getting up, you're doing the same thing over and over again. And for me, a routine feels like sanity. And so having that repetitive nature, it kept me moving forward without thinking about it too much.
And for me, like, having the routine, this might be very specific, but like when something went well, I felt like it was amplified, because it was a special part of my day. Like, all the days were the same, and then this great thing happened. On the flip side, when the bad thing happened, it kind of hit you too, but I felt like it amplified the minor milestones.
Absolutely. So make a routine, do your best to stick to it, but don't be completely crushed if one day your day doesn't go to plan. Because it's not going to.
It's gonna.
Every day it's not going to be the way you planned it. Right, tip number 8. Let go of the guilt. All the guilt that you're feeling for everything in the whole world, because you're feeling it all. The thing you did in middle school is now somehow making you feel guilty again. Let it go. None of this is your fault. None of this is something you caused, and none of this is anything you have any control over. So let go of the guilt and try to be present in the moment. Our biggest thing during our whole NICU stay, we said it to each other countless times, there ain't nothing to it but to do it. So just keep putting one foot in front of the other, move forward as best you can, and stop dwelling on things you can't change. Your baby was born early. This is the circumstances. This is the hand you've been dealt. Keep moving forward. There's nothing else you can do but to do it. So you just have to ride the wave, no matter how dangerous and choppy and uncomfortable it is. Hold on tight.
Yeah, he's the captain now.
Yeah. Hold on tight and stop feeling guilty, because you shouldn't. There's nothing to feel guilty for. You have our permission to let it go. You don't need to feel guilty.
Let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Let it go.
In addition to not feeling guilty, don't let anyone make you feel guilty. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have at least one well-meaning, maybe, person in your life who's going to get their Googling fingers out, and they're going to decide they get to tell you that they and their Google are smarter than the doctors, nurses, care teams, hospital of people that is taking care of your child, and what they say is better.
Yeah. I think you ate an avocado in week 4, so this is probably, like, I think maybe you...
What we heard was the babies aren't getting better because they're not allowed to be together.
Yeah, we heard that one a lot. Having twins, they'd say...
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, I bet you if you put your babies together in the same, like...
Isolate?
If you put him together in the same isolate, he'd start breathing.
Mm-hmm. All by himself would be a miracle.
All by himself.
No.
Thank you, but no thank you.
Thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah.
Smile,
you should quit.
nod, and let it go. In one ear, out the other.
Why are you going to work? I got bills.
We got that a lot.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be working. You should be with the babies. You being there is going to make them better. It's not. Yeah. Do what you have to do, whatever your gut says. And you've talked to your doctors and your nurses about it, and your gut's telling you this is the right decision. Own it. Yeah. Make your decision. And don't let someone who likes to Google stuff or someone who thinks they're so smart change your mind. Because number one, we didn't ask for your opinion. Number two, quit making me feel guilty. Yeah. They're not allowed. Tell them to bug off because it's not okay.
Educate your gut, but then trust it.
Yeah, exactly. And let their yappy advice in one ear, out the other, smile and nod, move on. But don't let them make you feel guilty. It's not worth it. Right. Tip number 9. Ask all the questions. If you have a question or a thought, ask it. Just do it. Because you're gonna feel better after you hear the answer or find out what the answer is. Even if it seems like a stupid question, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Ask it, get an answer, move on. You have these resources. Again, absorb them, use them, take advantage of them. Ask a question. If you wake up and you're pumping at 2 a.m. and you think, oh gosh, I really want to know this, because you got a light bulb moment or you had a dream about it, pick up the phone and call them. They're there. They're working. It's their job. Ask all the questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't hesitate. All right. Tip number 10. Moisturize.
Yeah.
You're going to be washing your hands. I mean, I feel like nowadays more people are used to coronavirus times and whatnot, but you're going to be washing your hands and using like acid level hand sanitizer constantly. And if you don't start putting like some Aveeno on your hands right now, every time you go to put that sanitizer on to check in at the hospital, your hands are going to light up like the 4th of July. It's going to be miserable.
I look like a bare knuckle boxer. Like my just bleeding constantly.
Yes, so start moisturizing your hands now. Buy some moisturizer on Amazon in bulk. Go to Costco, Sam's Club, whatever. Buy a bunch of it. Keep some in your purse, some in your hospital bag, some in your hospital room.
I'm still finding moisturizer in like the center console of my car.
Keep it everywhere.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna need it and you're gonna want it, and start using it as soon as possible so that your hands don't get like super chapped and burny like ours did. It was it was not pleasant. Tip number 11. Take a break. Take a break. Like I told you about our routine. It was so monotonous that if you don't break it every once in a while, you will break.
Yeah.
You will stretch yourself so thin. You will get so tired. On a weekend, schedule yourself some spontaneity. Go see a movie. Lay on the couch and watch TV. Take a nap.
Yeah.
Go get your nails done. Go get your hair cut. It's okay to take a breather and feel like a human again and feel like yourself again. Do it at least once a month, every other week, as often as you feel like you need it. Take a break from the NICU, from everything. Even
if you're just, I remember sometimes when we were doing the solo swaps, I would show up, say hi, change a diaper, and then I would take a nap in the big leather chair. And that was just nice. Like I would wake up in the room with the boy. Like it's just like I was there, but I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like even if that's
your break.
The break.
take it.
But it's, I even more importantly, I suggest, you know, like,
Go to lunch.
we went to have like a dinner.
Yeah.
And, like, it's nice to take a stroll. Like, just
go for a walk. Do
Yeah.
something to clear your mind and take a break.
Yeah.
All right, tip number 12. Look at your baby, not the numbers. So your baby's going to be hooked up to all kinds of machines, a heart monitor, a saturation monitor, a apnea monitor, a ventilator of some sort. And there's going to be so many numbers and alarms and things to digest.
Yeah.
And those are all good things in the beginning. Watch them, learn from them, absorb them, but also look at your child. Don't just see the number on the board and fixate on the number. Look down at the baby. See what that number means to your baby.
and how they correlate.
How do they correlate? How does the baby react when it's that number? What does the baby look like when it's that number? Because when you go home, chances are, depending on the circumstances, you're not going to have all of those machines. You might have some of them. You might have none of them. And so if you are so focused on the numbers and you're holding on to those numbers, you're going to get home and feel completely lost because you're not going to have those numbers to hold on to and to know what's going on. So get to know your baby and use those numbers to your advantage. You have this tool to see, like, okay, when he turns really bright red and he's pooping, that heart rate number goes really, really high. Right. So I should work to try and soothe him or rub his tummy or do this. Or when his oxygen saturation goes into like the low 80s, 70s, he starts to turn grayish. And then he starts to get blue when it goes into the 70s. And the first thing that turns blue is his lips. And then it goes under the eyes, it gets really dark. So get to know those things so that you can understand when your baby is struggling and when your baby isn't. Because I think that's one of those education pieces that you get to take advantage of from being in the NICU.
Absolutely. Yeah, I remember bringing Rory home and be like, oh, it looks about like a 97 right now. Like you get pretty good at it, and then it is too, like when, like this is very specific to us, but there is a level between having a hard time breathing and like having a steep desat decline. And so I could tell, like, when he was getting a little ashen, a little gray, like, okay, if I give him a suction, give him a pad, pick him up, I had a couple different tricks on my sleeves, I can get him back up to the high oxygen saturation. And because I knew that that's what, 85 looked like. Yeah. And I knew what 85 meant. And then I knew, like, once it started to turn blue, I was like, all right, we're in the 70s. We never had to bag him or anything, but, like, it's time to bag. Like, you can tell. You can correlate
to the oxygen. Yeah.
Let me pop it up just a little bit, get him back up to 85, and then we'll suction. We'll get him up to 90.
And I remember one time when Rory came home, he had reflux really bad, and he was, he had a bottle, and he was laying down, and he threw up, and it went right back into his face and like down, and he like aspirated in it, and we knew immediately what to do because we could see Rory. We didn't need the numbers and the machines and everything to tell us what was happening because we had seen it happen before. And we had the numbers and the machines to tell us what was happening when it happened before. So we felt prepared and ready to like tackle it. And we just like went into the NICU mode, got it taken care of, and he was fine. So use those numbers to educate yourself, but don't forget to look at the baby. Tip number 13, celebrate every milestone. I don't care what it is. They poop for the first time, celebrate it. They get to wear an outfit for the first time, celebrate it.
They poop on
you for the first time. Celebrate everything because you never know when your next bad day is going to come. So celebrate the wins, live in those wins, and feel it. Like enjoy that moment of like my baby passed his first test or the littlest took his first bath.
He wore his first outfit.
Yeah, I mean, the little things are what make the memories, and those are the things I remember the most is those wins and those good days. So celebrate them, enjoy them, and live in them as long as you can. And so that when the bad days come, you can reflect back on the good ones. And when you come out of it and it's all said and done, the good ones outweigh the bad. And they're the much better memories. And they're the ones that are going to last. So treasure those wins and celebrate them. Tip number 14, prepare yourself for the ups and downs. This is going to be a roller coaster ride. Some days are going to be great. Some days are going to be bad.
Some hours are going to be great. Some hours are going to be bad.
just get prepared. It's going to be a roller coaster. Know that going in. Know that, again, you have very little control over what's going on. Accept it now. Deal with your grief and just accept what this is. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be easy every day. And it's going to be what it is. But again, just keep moving forward and hold on to the things you can control and let everything else just happen as it's going to happen. Because if you try too hard to control things that are out of your control, you're just going to drive yourself nuts. So don't do it. Accept it. Accept what this is.
Bend so
good or bad.
What is it? Bend so you don't break?
Yes, absolutely. All right, last tip number 15. Know that your baby is an individual. You're not the same. Your baby isn't the same as the baby next door. Your baby is, if you have a twin, they're not the same. If you have triplets, they're not the same. No baby is the same. So don't compare yourself to the other babies on the floor. Don't compare yourself to your other baby next door. Know that your baby is an individual and they're going to ride this wave the way they're going to ride it. We don't have any control over it. And if you compare them too much, or if you see a baby come in and then they get to go home before you do and they came in after you, just stop comparing yourself and your baby to other people, because you're not them and your baby's not them. So let things happen as they're going to happen, and don't worry so much about what's going on with the baby next door or your other baby. And for us, like, we had two, and they took completely different rides in the theme park, and they weren't the same. And we got in so much trouble when we tried to compare Jack to Rory or Rory to Jack, because they're not the same person. So obviously they're not dealing with it the same way, and what was going on inside of them and the way they developed, even though they were in the same womb and had everything the same, their circumstances were the same, they weren't the same. And so trying to compare them to one another just set them up for failure. Like, we were setting them up to fail. So don't compare yourself or other babies to other people, because you're on your own journey and so is your baby. And let that journey play out the way it's going to, and don't bog yourself down in what's going on next door. So those are our top 15 tips for life in the NICU. If you want more of these videos, we have tips for trach babies, we have tips for going home, we have tips for family and friends. If they want to hear from us, let us know in the comments what you want to see from us and what kind of advice you need. And if you have any questions or you just need a friend to go through this journey with you, follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Pieces in Bethany. DM me. I am so happy to be there for you and help you in any way that we can. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that red subscribe button and make sure your bell notifications are turned on so that you're notified every time we post a video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.